Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Tonight kicks off the final week of the regular season for 11A and 9-man football. After tomorrow's matchups, the field will be set for the opening round of the playoffs, which kick off, can you believe it, already next week. So tonight and tomorrow's games will be important as ever to try to either A, secure a playoff spot, B, better your seeding, or C, just end your season with a win. These two teams tonight, Southern Mclean, they're trying to make sure they're in the playoffs come next week. Trinity is awaiting to see the seeding. Will it be 1? Will it be a 2? Or will it be a 3 seed for Trinity? Southern Mclean, though, trying to stamp into the playoffs for a second straight season. Welcome into the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. I'm Brock Widener, joining you from the Bijou Activity Center tonight on the PSP Network. Tonight's game going to be a fun one, and it's going to be fun to keep track of all the scores from around the state especially in 11A and 9-man tonight, to see which teams can get into the playoffs. We are going to, again, start talking a lot about playoff seeding, more on the Valvoline and Stonola Change pregame show. But right now, let's focus more on this region in particular, and then a little later on, we'll talk about the other regions. In region number 4, Killdeer, Trinity, Central Mclean. They're your top 3. They all have a chance to be the number 1 seed and be your Region 4 regular season champs this year. Killdeer in the driver's seat. They're 7-0, and all they have to do is beat Central Mclean tomorrow to secure the 1 seed. Easier said than done, because Central Mclean has only lost 1 game this season, and it was at the hands of these Dickinson Trinity Titans. Talking about those 3 teams, if Killdeer wins, they will be the 1. Then Trinity will automatically be the 2 seed. Doesn't matter if they win or lose today. Then we move on to another scenario. If Central Mclean beats Killdeer tomorrow, and if Trinity would beat Southern Mclean tonight, we would have a 3-way tie for the number 1 seed. Then it would come down to a tiebreaker situation. And since in this hypothetical situation as now, Trinity is a +5, Killdeer's a +4, and Central Mclean's a -9 in the games. So the Cougars would have to beat Killdeer by 15+ points to be the number 1 seed. If they would beat them by 14 or less, Trinity would be the number 1 seed. So Trinity needs to win today, and then they could become some big Central Mclean fans tomorrow. But for the Titans, they would want Central Mclean to win it maybe 14 points or less, just so they can get that 1 seed mark. But all 3 of those top teams have a chance to be the 1 seed. But all 3 of those teams will be in the playoffs. It just matters about what seed they will be. Then there's some movement here in the 4 and the 5. Southern Mclean, who we'll see tonight, they are the 4 seed as of now. If they win, they're automatically in the playoffs. They have another chance to get in there as well, but they would need Beulah to lose to Bowman County tonight. So Southern Mclean is in with a win or a Beulah loss. Beulah takes the 4 seed with a win and a Southern Mclean loss. So Southern Mclean, Beulah kind of had the same goal in mind. Then Shiloh Christian, Bowman, Heart River, and Hazen all going to fall short this year. Bowman County, even though they could hypothetically make a 3-way tie between Southern Mclean and Beulah, they have lost to those 2 teams, so they would not be in the mix on that 3-way tie, and that is why it would break it down between Southern Mclean and Beulah. But overall, going to be very interesting to look at how that battle shakes out and how the battle of the 1, 2, 3 seeds shake out as well. Taking a look now at the single A polls. Langdon area, they are your number 1 seed, and with a win tonight, they will more than likely be the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. Valvadrake and Moose Garrison will not play a game this week after South Prairie Max just short on players this time of year with a lot of injuries, so they elected not to play the final week, and that is kind of making it like the Aggies will probably be the number 2 seed in the tournament. Killdeer, EEK, and Park River, the 3, 4, and 5, and Botno is receiving votes. Let's take a look at some more region or Class A kind of situations. And again, you'll take a look at the sister region first in region number 3. So region number 4's number 1 seed will play region number 3's 4 seed. The 2 will play the 3, and kind of vice versa. In region number 3, they have their teams all set already. It's just about the order. Valvadrake and Moose Garrison will be their number 1. Botno will be the 2 seed. Delac Burlington will be the 3, and Ray Powers Lake will be the 4 seed overall. Valve has already secured the 1 seed. Botno gets the 2 seed with a win, but Ray Powers Lake could force a 3-way tie for the 2 seed with a win over DLB, with a win over Stanley tonight. And if Botno would fall to Ray and DLB would beat Stanley, and that would be a 3-way tie. But Botno kind of in the running for that. They would have to at least lose under 10 or less points to secure that 1 seed or win the game this week to get that 2 seed. Now we move on over to what it looks like in region number 2. Almost pretty set there. Langdon Area Munich will be the 1, Park River the 2. Thompson with a win will be the 3, and Grafton will be the 4. If it's vice versa, then Grafton could jump them, but more than likely it'll be Langdon, Park River, Thompson, and Grafton in that order. Then in region number 1, no seeding is set, and that is kind of just a wide open region in Region 1, just so many tiebreakers. I don't even think I can give you exactly what all the tiebreakers will be, but Ellendale, Edgeley, Calm will be in the playoffs, just don't know if they'll be the 1 seed. Hillsborough, Central Valley has the tiebreaker over them, so they could potentially steal the 1 seed. Northern Cass, Lisbon, all 4 and 2, and Oaks and Valley City have an outside chance with a 3 and 3 record of making it into the playoffs as well. So lots and lots of different outcomes, but overall we have set regions 2 and 3. There are 4 teams already set. 5 possible teams that could get 4 of those spots in Region 4, and it's very wide open in Region 1 come the final 2 nights of the regular season for Class A. The Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show continues on when we return on the PSP Network.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. 1 pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
Welcome back to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a stay-in-your-car oil change. 25 years, the Lundins taking care of people. Local actually matters. It's typically performed in 15 minutes or less. You can find them in the Magic City of Minot and the capital city of Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You can see the rain continuing to drop. It has been basically an all-day occurrence today here in the Queen City. A lot of precipitation is going to continue on through the night. So, hey, take care of the football, going to be the name of the game. We will dive into this matchup a little bit more, but again, we talked about the 11A kind of playoff grid. Well, now let's talk about the 9-man grid for you 9-man connoisseurs like myself. Region number 1, all set. Even the seating is set. Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion will be the 1, Hankinson the 2, South Border the 3, and Hatton, Northwood the 4. Their sister region in Region 2 is pretty much set. New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock looking to try to go back-to-back for state titles. They are the 1 seed over there. North Border the 2. North Prairie will secure the 3 with a win against the Woodchucks out of St. John tonight, and 4 wins, Minnewacan the 4 seed. Then in region number 3, their team's already set as well. Alexander going to be the number 1 team any way you cut it. Divide County, Lewis and Clark, Berthold, and MLS could make it a 3-way difference. Divide County right now, if they win against Lewis and Clark, they will be the 2 seed. But if Lewis and Clark wins, could potentially make it into a 3-way battle there for the 2nd seed if Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood would beat TGU tomorrow. And that matchup will be on the PSP Network with Jonas Nelson on the call tomorrow. Then in region number 4, Lytton HMB will be the number 1, and then Kidder County, if they win against New Salem, they will be the 2. Grant County Flasher sits at the 3 right now, and Napoleon Gackle Streeter at the 4. Those 3 teams, Kidder, Grant, and Napoleon, in a 3-way tie. Kidder had the point differential better, and then it was Grant County that defeated Napoleon to get to that tiebreaker. But again, if they all stay perfect tonight, that will kind of be the order for Region 4. So 9-man, you know exactly what teams will be in. Every single team is already secured. It's just seeding. 11A, though, a little bit different of the story. Some teams trying to vie for a playoff spot, like these Rough Riders out of Southern Mclean. Speaking of the Rough Riders, they're head coached by Bo Erickson with a record of 16 wins, 29 losses in his 5th year with the program. This is a program that is trending in the right direction. In 2023, they ended with 3 wins. In 2022, they ended with 2 wins. So 2 wins in 2022, 3 wins in 2023, 4 wins in 2024, and in 2025, they've got 5 wins. So 1 win better each and every year. And for this Southern Mclean team, this is a team that if they make the playoffs or if they don't make the playoffs this year, next year is looking like it could be another big year for the Rough Riders because they return a bulk of the roster, which we'll get to in a second. Southern Mclean joined as a co-op back in 2011 when Washburn, Wilton, and Wing joined forces. Since that co-op started, they have a record of 42 wins and 85 losses. Their last playoff trip was last year, marking their 2nd trip to the playoffs under that co-op start since 2011. They made the playoffs in 2015 and in 2024. This season, though, is the first 5-win season in co-op history, and it's the first season that their offense has eclipsed over 200 points in a season. This Southern Mclean squad started 4-0, but they've gone 1-3 in the last 4 weeks, and the second half of the season has been a little bit of a struggle in years past. Last year, they started 3-1. They ended 4-6. In 2023, they started 3-1, but lost the final 5 games of the year. So it's just trying to even out from that hot start to that kind of grueling back end of these Rough Riders schedule. But this year, again, with a win tonight, could make it back-to-back playoff appearance for the first time in co-op history. They returned all 5 starting offensive linemen last year. They returned 8 offensive linemen that had some starts on the year. So they have the depth, they have the starting power coming back on the offensive line for a team that loves to run the ball, and they saw 7 starters return on both sides. That is a strength of this team the entire year, and let's meet some of those Southern Mclean players to keep an eye on tonight. Their quarterback, Josh Laning. He bounced back from an injury-cut short season last year. This year, 458 passing yards, 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, and coming off of a 3-touchdown game against the Killdeer Cowboys. Then you have to talk about the big 3. This squad runs 3 running backs. Levi McGregor, the youngest out of the 3. He's a sophomore, 398 rushing yards, 2nd on the team. He ended up having 69 rushing yards last week. Then Brady Volmuth, he had 331 yards on the season, 3rd on the team, but he had 50 rushing yards and 16 receiving yards last week against Killdeer. And now we talk about our highlight player to keep an eye on, Ethan Rederath, and there's the graphic to look at his stats and awe over them. 919 yards, 10 touchdowns on the ground, and then he can even make that impact through the air. 13 receptions, 119 yards, and 4 more touchdowns for Ethan Rederath. And again, this is the big thing here is the running backs. We talked about it with Volmuth, Rederath, and McGregor. Volmuth and Rederath are actually the leading receivers. They're the leading rushers on this team, and they're the leading receivers. So this is a team that their offense goes through the running backs, and they've got 3 big names that can make an impact for the squad out of Washburn, Wilton, and Wing, the Triple W's. Now let's turn our attention on over to Dickinson Trinity. Under John Oderman in his 13th year, he's eclipsed over 75 wins in his head coaching career this season. It's a team that, again, has just been quite the powerhouse under him, but is looking for their first state title since 2005. They were the runner-ups back in 2023. 17 region titles and could get a share of the crown this year, a program record that sees this school at over 300 wins since 1975. They've made 9 of their last 10 seasons with a 500 or better and 8 playoff appearances in those last 10 years. Players to keep an eye on: Emerson Simiano, 204 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady Holman, he's a ball hawk on defense, 5 interceptions, but also the top gaining wide receiver, 271 yards. Jordan Ham, look out for him, 222 rushing yards. Also a menace on defense, 45 tackles. Brody Kuntz, the quarterback, 737 passing yards, about 51% completion percentage. TJ Meyer, 34 tackles. And Jace Peters, big on the defense, leads the team with 17 TFLs and 7 tackles. But again, the night's headliner, and on the season headliner, it's Hugh Meyer. There you can look at his stats on the graphic. 1,103 rushing yards for Hugh Meyer. He's averaging 157 rushing yards per game, about 8 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns on the ground. Also has a couple catches this year, and he has 2 defensive touchdowns, so 16 total touchdowns for Meyer. Look for this game to be a big-time tug-of-war on the offensive front. It's going to be in the trenches tonight, and on a rainy night here in the Queen City, it is going to be about ball control tonight. Keep that ball safely in the midst, keep it away from the turf, and you're going to see a lot of great running back play with Meyer and Ham for Trinity, McGregor, Volmuth, and Rederath for Southern Mclean. So with the rain, in fact, definitely going to be a ground and pound game as we get ready for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Saint Sebastian, Our Lady of Victory. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
That was tonight's national anthem here at the Bijou Activity Center. And when we come back on the PSP Network, we're kicking off the final week of the 11A regular season. Southern Mclean takes on Dickinson Trinity.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Breathe in.
I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
It's game day here on the PSP Network. Southern Mclean taking on Dickinson Trinity in what should be a great close out to the regular season. Trinity, with a win, has a chance to be the #1 seed representing Region 4. It all would come down to tomorrow's game between Killdeer and Central Mclean. Southern Mclean here tonight with a win secures a spot in the playoffs. With a loss, they would need Beulah to lose to get a spot in the playoffs. Ball gets down to the 1. It is picked up, and they are off and running on the far side. Trinity trying to wrap them up. Southern Mclean has the jerseys that are known as maybe the commentator nightmare. It's hard to see the numbers, but we will try the best tonight. Again, with that gold number on the white jersey. So we will try to keep the best note of it, but let's meet their starting lineup. On the offensive lineman, the sophomore Logan Hansen, the juniors, Carter Geiger, Gage Wolf, Riley Boone, as well as Osvito. Isaiah Osvito rounding out the offensive line. Quarterback Joshua Lanning, Levi McGregor, Brady Volmuth, and Ethan Rederath, the running backs. They'll hand it off right up the gut. Trying to be quick tackled there by Iles. Iles cannot quite grab him down, and he'll get pushed out of bounds. Mason Nielsen and Caleb Benning rounding it out to the starting lineup as the wide receivers. And we'll meet that starting defense here for Dickinson Trinity. On the defensive front, the defensive ends, the sophomore Jace Peters and the junior Parker Orrs. Ingris Niambona and Hugh Meyer in the middle. The linebackers of Brady Holman, Jordan Ham, and T.J. Meyer. Cornerbacks Alonzo Kuderna and Emerson Simiano. Jake Glauser and Elijah Gillick round out the starting defense. Rederath going to get it up into the middle as he is shoved down after a gain of 1. So Rederath is going to be one of your players to keep an eye on tonight. Again, that's his statistics on the year. Almost 1,000 rushing yards for number 25 in white. But overall, in total line of scrimmage yards, he's got over 1,000 when you add in his receiving totals this year. Rederath continues to be the back. Instead, they'll give it out to Volmuth. In the motion, Volmuth rips it to the outside. He is tackled by Elijah Gillick in on the tackle. And this is what makes this team so dynamic is not only do they have 3 running backs, but they don't need to put them all in the backfield. They can bring them in motion. They can do different things, and that's what leads to a lot of success for these Rough Riders. That, again, has got one game better in each and every season in the win department. Ball now into Trinity territory. Back to Volmuth it goes. Volmuth wrapped up by Brady Holman in on the tackle. Give him a gain of 7. It's our first Ryan Family Dealerships instant replay of the day. A nice gain of 7. With Volmuth in motion again. Brady Volmuth, he's right now on about 3rd on the team, right behind Rederath and McGregor. Volmuth in motion, they'll give it to Rederath. Rederath shoved down by a couple of Titans up front. Not going to get the yards he potentially was trying to get to on that first down marker, but will be marked 3 yards short of it. Give him a nice 3rd and 3 coming up for the Rough Riders. First third down they are faced with the group out of Washburn, Wilton Wing, the triple W's. And their gold helmets trot up to the line. Titans stacking the line. Volmuth in motion. They'll pitch it out to him. He gets a nice little block, but will not get the first down needed as Hugh Meyer tackles him up. Hugh Meyer, known for his defense, comes up with a big known for his offense, also plays great defense. Gets a big 3rd down stop for Dickinson Trinity. Hugh Meyer, a North Dakota State commit for wrestling. Yeah, I said that right. He's going on to play D1 wrestling there for Hugh Meyer, and he's arguably one of the most explosive running backs in 11A. Great defensive player as well. Wherever you need Meyer, he shows up there for Coach Oderman. Volmuth in some motion. He hits the brakes, and we'll get our first timeout today from Coach Erickson. Timeout taken. It's brought to you by First International Bank and Trust.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemeen, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemeen, and McBride.
Coming out of the First International Bank and Trust timeout. First International Bank and Trust, a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between their employees and customers. Founded in 1910, growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. 4th down and 4 coming up for Southern Mclean. Rederath, here comes Volmuth in motion. They'll pitch it to him on the right side, trying to get outside the numbers. Will not get out there as Trinity makes the stop, but turnover on downs for the Titans. There you go, trying to get to the outside, but Trinity doing a really good job of just shifting that line out there. Even if he got out to the outside, there was not much room out there. He would have to tightrope to try to get those 4 extra yards he needed. Great work there by Jordan Ham and company of just setting the edge and forcing Volmuth to go all the way to out of bounds. And now it's time to see the Dickinson Trinity offense for the first time today with 8:22 remaining in the opening quarter. In motion is Glauser. They'll give it to him. Glauser follows the blockers, gets a block from Hugh Meyer. A first down for the Titans as he hurdles over the bleacher. Let's take a look here and see if we got it on the Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. Yes, we do. Look at that, a little hurdle action. What can't Jake Glauser do? As Glauser will check out, they'll bring in Brady Holman, the top leading receiver for these Dickinson Trinity Titans. Oderman elects to go on the jet sweep to start. Normally, you'd expect Hugh Meyer to be the first one to touch the ball. He won't even be the second one. It's a direct snap on to Brody Kuntz for a gain of 1. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Dickinson Trinity Titans. Quarterback of Brody Kuntz, running back of Hugh Meyer, the senior, fullback Jordan Ham, and then the wide receivers of Emerson Simiano and Brady Holman, as well as Alonzo Kuderna. The offensive linemen, Jace Peters, Parker Roars, Sam Dobitz, the sophomore, the freshman, Bryant Kern, and Ingris Niambona round out the offensive line for the Titans. 2 receivers, both outside the numbers on the respective sides. Kuntz going to flip it on over, tried to get one in the direction of Kuderna, and it's going to be a behind pass, which is going to mean it was a live ball and will cost some field position. As they'll mark it at the 50, so that's going to bring up now 3rd and long. 3rd and about 14 coming up. Let's meet the Southern Mclean defensive starters. Sophomore Logan Hansen, Riley Boone, Carter Geiger, and Gage Wolf, all 3 juniors on the defensive line. Linebackers of Levi McGregor, Caleb Benning, and Grant Wagner, as well as Ethan Rederath. River Killstrup, Brady Volmuth, and Joshua Laning round out the starting lineup. They'll give it on to Ham. He won't get far. A big defensive stop for Southern Mclean. It was Riley Boone in on the play. Boone breaks it up on defense, and the defense is showing out here early on a rainy Thursday night. Get a little Thursday night football. 5 games on the PSP network. After this punt, we'll put up the graphic of all 5 games being displayed tonight. Ham with a nice punt here in the rain. Picked up at the 5-yard line. Simiano going to trip up the returner who stumbles his way to the 24. Again, it is Thursday night football. Here on the PSP network, we've got some big marquee matchups. Century Legacy, the big one in AAA. Mandan takes on Minot tonight. Jamestown versus Minot North. Then, of course, this one right here, Southern Mclean, Dickinson, Trinity. And we've got all 4 classes on display: West Hope, Newburgh, Glenburn, and Nedrose. Got some matchups tomorrow, just 2 matchups on Friday Night Football, and one maybe, depending on how this one goes, Trinity wants to keep a close eye on. Killdeer and Central Mclean going to be on the PSP network, as well as Mohall, Lansford, Sherwood, and Towner, Granville, Upham. They'll bring back Volmuth in motion. He will quickly jet to the outside near the first down marker, probably going to be marked about 2-3 yards short. Brody Kuntz there talking with his coaching staff when he gets ready to go back on offense. Great shot there by our camera crew. As Southern Mclean set up with a 2nd and 3. Volmuth in motion. They'll fake it to him. They're going to give it to McGregor. McGregor jumps out to the left side. He's trying to beat Glauser, who jumps on top of him. But McGregor brings it near midfield for the Rough Riders. Nice play there by Glauser, who maybe didn't have quite the angle he wanted to there on McGregor, but able to get the legs to draw him down before he could get any farther down the field. 6:25 remaining in the opening quarter, almost halfway through frame number 1. McGregor in motion. They're going to give it to Rederath. Quickly has his legs wrapped up on the play. In on the tackle, it was Sam Dobitz wrapping him up right at the line of scrimmage. So a gain of nothing. Rederath just gets back to the initial line to get to. Again, a ground and pound game between these 2 teams was probably to be expected with the star power in the backfield. McGregor in motion. They'll give it out to Volmuth in the misdirection play. Tries to shift his way, but he runs into a whole crew of Titans. Hugh Meyer, Brady Holman, and a whole pack. They're in on the tackle. Again, these 2 teams run the ball, and they run the ball as good as anyone in 11A. 240 rushing yards per game for the Titans, 224 rushing yards per game for the Rough Riders. So offensively, very similar on the ground game. Titans' passing attack has had a little bit better luck. But other than that, very similar on the offense. Laning fakes it. He's looking to pass right on cue. Goes in the hands of Rederath, who is pushed out of bounds by Emerson Simiano. But the first pass play, tap it up for the Rough Riders. Again, you can't speak high enough about these Rough Rider running backs because they kind of act like the receiving too. They do a lot of receiving and passing action through those running backs. Volmuth and Rederath, some of the top running backs on this team, also lead the team in receptions. Volmuth in motion. He'll stop behind Rederath and he'll reset back to the left side of the line. Laning now sets back to look to punt on 4th and 4. And he will. He'll just rip one out, trying to catch him off of a distraction play. Simiano will let it bounce, and it's going to roll at the 10, roll back, and it'll be picked up at the 11, where the Titans will set up shop. Some nice offensive plays here early on both sides. However, it's the defenses that have come here to play, and we talk about the offensive numbers quite a bit, but defensively these two teams have fared pretty well. Trinity has allowed 19 points per game. Southern Mclean around 23 points per game, so not bad numbers on either of those regards. Some solid defensive play all season for these squads. Trinity has seen just clutch defense throughout the season. You look back, I know this is the last week of the regular season, but you look at the first week of the regular season where Trinity won that football game against Bowman County at the 1-yard line as time expired. Those little things have put them in a chance to be the 1 seed this year, and they'll hand it off to Hugh Meyer, who picks up about 2 yards on the play. And that's kind of going to be the key today, is what player on the Titans can step up and try to be kind of that secondary punch. There's going to be a lot of emphasis of stopping Hugh Meyer for the Rough Riders, but who will be that other player to step up? Will it be Brody Kuntz, Jordan Ham? One of the wider receivers. They fake it to Ham. They keep it on the ground the opposite direction. And picking up a couple of yards, it's on the quarterback keeper is Kuntz. Nice little misdirection. A lot of the defense shifted one way. Kuntz able to sneak his way just 3 yards short of the first down marker with 3:49 remaining here in quarter number 1. Fakes the handoff to the fullback of Ham. Now he'll pitch it out to Meyer for a first down, then some. He is ushered out of bounds at the 34. Hugh Meyer with his biggest run of the first quarter. Marks a first out and keeps the drive alive for the home team. Everyone in attendance trying to stay under the little bit of roof they can find here on just a downpouring day, but the student section just trying to gut it out here. A snap goes over the head of Meyer, who runs it down. A big-time defensive stop there for Mclean. Again, a snap that goes wrong. Meyer wins the race, keeps this ball in possession of the Titans, but there's just too many Rough Riders to try to get the yardage back, and now it's going to be second and forever coming up for the team in the red and white. The ball is at the 12-yard line. They need to get all the way to the 44-yard line. Second and 32. Titans potentially need a big chunk play here. Instead, going to go down to the middle there to Meyer, who gets popped. I think that was Ethan Rederath who lays the hammer. There you'll see it. Rederath lays the boom on number 46, Meyer. Gets a little bit of that chunk away. 3rd and 28. Titans looking to throw. Kuntz off his back foot. It's almost intercepted. Ball drops incomplete. Titans had to turn playing from offense to defense on that play. Almost intercepted. The offensive lineman there just gives a little shove. Jars that ball loose, but a good effort by Caleb Benning to try to pick that one off. Benning is second on the team in tackles this year. Almost comes up with a big-time interception. Said the Titans will punt this one off. A nice punt that stays in bounds, continues the tightrope. Kudrna running down, trying to pick it up. And a huge punt for the Titans. Special teams is a big part of the game. The Rough Riders thought it was going out of bounds, so they were just going to let it roll out of bounds, but the ball, friendly roll, stays in. And forces scramble mode. Kudrna right there trying to pick that one up, but instead that will flip the field. From inside their own 20, flips it all the way now inside the Mclean 20. Southern Mclean now will get the ball at their own 15-yard line after they were thinking they were going to get perfect field position. McGregor in motion. They're going to hand it off the middle to Rederath as he busts through the line, but it is a foul on the play. Penalty marker. It's a false start on the offense, so the Riders will go back 5 yards before they will get their first official play going on the drive. Southern Mclean again has kept it all on the ground for the most part. One passing attempt. It's a completion to Ethan Rederath, who they'll fake it to. They give it to Volmuth. Trying to get to the outside. He's wrapped up by Emerson Simiano, who wraps him up out of bounds. St. John, the Woodchucks on the bottom of your screen there, 32-6 over North Prairie. That's a big one if you're a 9-man connoisseur, as again, North Prairie would need to win that game to be the 3 seed with a loss. They would be the 4 seed out of that region. They're automatically in, but could see a seeding drop if they fall to the Woodchucks and can't mount a comeback out there in our north central part of the state. McGregor in motion. They'll pitch it to Rederath. He's dropped by Jordan Ham and company. Ham and Ingris Niambona there on the tackle. Again, just getting back to the line of scrimmage, so 2 rushes that go nowhere there for Southern Mclean because of that penalty. Again, it was 1st and 15. They'll get a couple yards to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, but that's where they're at right now, 3rd and 10 with 1 minute remaining in the opening quarter. Again, thought this could be a fast-moving quarter with the rain and 2 teams that like to run the ball. Lots of movement, but it looks like before 3rd down will occur, Coach Bo Erickson wants to talk things over for Southern Mclean. We'll take a timeout with them late here in quarter number 1.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
Welcome back in after the First International Bank and Trust timeout taken by Southern Mclean. This game brought to you by Minot State. Best way to predict your future to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for your career of your desire, with more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. 3rd and 10. Let's see what Coach Erickson's got brewing up. McGregor in motion. They fake it to him. Laning looking to throw. He's got Rederath. Ball is punched out. A big pass deflection by Alonzo Kudrna. Forces 4th and 10. Here is Laning. A good-looking ball right on the money to Rederath. But it's Kudrna that comes away with the PD, the pass deflection, to force 4th down. And after an impressive punt by Jordan Ham, Southern Mclean seeing if they can do the same. That one going to be inside the 50. Picked up and running with it. It's Emerson Simiano. He's going to get to the 40-yard line. We'll see if they mark him where they'll officially mark him, and right there at the 40. So Titans will have excellent field position, setting up shop on this offensive drive that will close out the first quarter and more than likely begin the second quarter with, depending on how aggressive Coach Oderman wants to be. Again, most games around the state are today, but there'll still be a good chunk of games tomorrow as we finish out the 9-man and 11A regular season. AA and AAA end of the regular season will be next week, and we'll be right back in action for that closing for DHS football as they close out their season against Minot North. They're out in Devil's Lake tomorrow on the road trip. Again, they'll be DHS fans will be score watching the St. Mary's Watford City game probably pretty closely tonight, as we'll see if the Titans get one more play off. Glauser in motion. They'll give it to him on the jet sweep. He cuts inside near the first down marker, and they'll bring it up for a 3rd and 1 when we come back for the start of the second quarter on the PSP Network. It's all even up 0-0 as we head to quarter number 2.
Facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Quarter number 1, game remains scoreless. Southern Mclean, Dickinson, Trinity. Southern Mclean needs a win to have that sigh of relief to make sure they're officially in the playoffs. If they lose it, they have to have Beulah lose to Bowman County tonight to secure that last spot in region number 4. Trinity's already in, but tonight, if with a win, would help them have a chance to be the number 1 seed. Lots of motion. Almost everybody moving on the offensive front. And more than likely, that's going to be a false start on the offense. Everyone pretty much except Hugh Meyer back there was pretty much moving. Everyone but the running back. Titans were set up with great field position after a beautiful punt by Jordan Ham. Created a lot of problems for Southern Mclean. That got pinned deep in their own zone. A great defensive stand. They got the ball to start at the 40. But now this penalty marks them out for a 4th and about 6. They'll give it to Ham. He runs over a tackler to get right back to a potential 4th and 1 opportunity here for the Titans. So there it is. Ham on the run. Just trucks a defender forward. Give them 4th and a long 1. That's probably about 1.5 yards, not quite 2 yards. Ham and Meyer face 8 different defenders staring on the other end. Meyer tries to sidestep one. He's going to get a push. Will he get the push needed? We'll wait, and yes, he does. Hugh Meyer needed a 1.5, probably just got exactly that. Some good work on the offensive line. Jace Peters, as you saw on that replay brought to you by Ryan Family Dealerships, kind of grabbing Meyer and shoving him forward. That was enough to get what they needed to continue on the drive. They'll give it back, fake it to the fullback. Kuntz showing that he can be a dual threat. Will pick up a 1st down, a 12-yard run, but some dirty laundry on the field in the backfield will probably indicate this one is coming back. That's a kind of a play that we haven't seen much at home, at least. Not sure if have done all this kind of read option much on the road, but when we've been here for PSB at Covered Titan games, we have not seen a lot of read option with Brody Kuntz, but something that they have kind of thrown in a wrinkle in this offense here today, and he's been able to get some nice chunks of yards. That one would have went for 12 if it wasn't called back. Instead, we'll force it up to another 1st and 20. So they started this drive on the 40. They got a first down, and now they get pushed right back to the 40. Glosser in motion. They fake it to him. Kuntz looking to throw in the direction of Ham. It's tipped. It's intercepted by Ethan Rederath. Rederath getting outside the numbers as he gets out of bounds near his sideline at the 21. Ethan Rederath has done it all so far today. A little bit of everything. We've seen him lay the hit stick. We've seen him pick off. Now Kuntz have some solid runs. He's even caught a ball. So there you go. He's got a reception, a couple tackles, an interception, and plenty of rushing yards today. And there's a key reason why that junior is a key player in this Southern Mclean offense. We're just over the Southern Mclean team with that defensive play he just brought. Well, their lead tacklers on the year as well. McGregor in motion, leaning, just going to lob a pass. That is 50-50 ball, potentially intercepted right back, and yes it is. Elijah Gillick on the very next play. Gillick gets it back for Dickinson Trinity. There you see the excitement. Out of the crew, out of the red and white, hugs all around. Jack Sheeler giving a big hug. Laning just throwing one up, and it's picked off. They were trying to give it to Caleb Benning, the intended target. So both quarterbacks throw an interception on back-to-back plays. So Titans get it right where they had it just a few plays ago when they were on offense, and Ham gets the first carry to get to the 31. $11A football, especially Region 4, always an experience, always on for a roller coaster ride all the way to the final seconds of the fourth quarter. And right now, this first half has lived up to the expectations. They fake it to Meyer. Kuntz looks to the right. He is going to be sacked on the play, bringing him down, Carter Geiger. With a huge sack that pushes the Titans out to the 45. Geiger slams down Kuntz. On the Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. For 50 years, Ryan's been a trusted name for car buyers in Western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com. Visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and in Williston. Third and 22. Handoff to Meyer. Trying to rip out to the outside. A little bit of a stiff arm as he's pushed out of bounds. Try to stay in, but again, nice little push tackle there by Grant Wagner, an all-region player. One of the top leaders on that defense a year ago. Picked up those all-region honors with 43 tackles last season. Talked about special teams and defense right now has been the highlight factor and has the spotlight on it for these two teams. Offenses have had some decent field position, but it's been the defense and special teams that have stole the show thus far. A booming punt for Ham. Going to drop in the end zone for a touchback. So they'll set them up at the 20-yard line to start the drive here for Southern Mclean. Today's game brought to you in part by BSN. BSN creates exclusive personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs, from custom equipment, uniforms, and coaches' apparel to fan wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. Western North Dakota sales pros, Scott Woodmancy, Greg Foster, Naomi Erdahl, Nate Zachman, and sales manager Joe Cattell. Southern Mclean kicking off the drive. with about 9 minutes on the ball game, or in the first half, excuse me. They'll get it out to Rederath, starting at the 20, and he will work his way near the 30-yard line. They'll see he's pushed out at the 28, just 2 yards short. Again, just the offense built on misdirection. Rederath and Volmuth have been the duo thus far, but then you can get McGregor into the mix as well. They faked it to him a couple times. I think he might have got a carry or two in this game, but so far it's Rederath and Volmuth. In motion's Volmuth, back to Rederath. Ethan Rederath, full steam ahead. He'll pick up a first down. Brings him up to the 42-yard line for another Rough Rider first down. Tackled by Jake Glaser. That finishes him off at the end of the play. Yeah, this is senior day for Dickinson Trinity, and Jake Glaser, one of those seniors. One of those 7 seniors on this Dickinson Trinity squad. McGregor in motion. They'll hand it off to Rederath. This time won't go far. Again, this makeup this team for Dickinson Trinity. Got 6 seniors, 7 juniors, 10 sophomores, 7 freshmen on the end for the Rough Riders. Only 2 seniors for Southern Mclean, 12 juniors, 7 sophomores, and 6 freshmen. So a team that was already young last year, didn't lose too much last year. Turned 7 starters on both sides. Now will only just lose 2 seniors for next year. They'll pitch it out to McGregor. McGregor cuts inside. Hit by Jordan Ham, but he will slice down the first down marker in half for a gain of 5. Talked about it earlier. Once you get all 3 of those guys going, it's all uphill there for their opposing defenses. McGregor season high is 93 yards against Central Mclean. Rederath is 204 yards versus Central Mclean. Volmuth has had a game where he picked up 119 yards. So 3 different running backs capable of any given night for potentially breaking near 100 yards, as Volmuth will dance around and he goes up the gut for a first down into Dickinson Trinity territory. So a first down for the Rough Riders as we approach the halfway point in quarter number 2. There you see on the bottom, Park River area picked up an 8-0 after a first touchdown versus Harvey Wells County. Bouncing to the outside again, full steam ahead. I believe that was Volmuth on the run. Near the first down marker, pushed out just outside of it. See, that was Rederath. Made him a gain of 9. Second and 1. Again, both defenses have had that bend but don't break mentality. We've seen some big plays, but ultimately the drives have stalled due to the defenses. They're going to give it out to Volmuth, trying to get to the outside, and right on cue on the defenses. Making a big defensive stand. Parker Roars on the play. There you see the misdirection. Give it to Volmuth. Almost breaks loose, but Roars grabs his arm, slams him down. Parker Roars, 2 sacks on the year. Has played a big part when he's been on the field for this Dickinson Trinity squad. Quickly running onto the field, River Kilstrup. Back to Rederath in 3rd and 6. He will continue to drive the legs for a first down. A shove of the pile will get him a couple extra yards for another Rough Rider first down. There you see both teams trying to push the wind in the opposite directions. This Southern Mclean offensive unit, all 5 starters from last year returned to this season. They had 8 different players that started last year on the offensive line. All of them returned. They'll fake it out. They'll give it off to Volmuth. He's shoved out of bounds. Big tackle for Emerson Simiano. Picking up a gain of about 3 for Volmuth. If memory serves me right, I don't believe either team has got into the ServPro red zone tonight. Dickinson Trinity got close, I think, near the 30-yard line, but that was as close as they would get. As the Rough Riders knocking on the door of that, but are going to elect to take their final timeout in the first half with 5:40 remaining in it. In a scoreless game, Southern Mclean starting to drive down the field, seeing if they can put the first points on the board.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Clean it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Welcome back in a scoreless football game. Southern Mclean 0, Dickinson Trinity 0. On the final game of the regular season for these two teams, Southern Mclean trying to punch the final ticket yet to be punched on over for region number 4. They're keeping a close eye on Beulah and Bowman County. Beulah has taken the lead 6-0 nearing half. As they give it to McGregor. McGregor makes a man miss, and he will plow his way into the ServPro red zone, move the chains for the Rough Riders. It's the sophomore running back of Levi McGregor. So as it sits now, Southern Mclean would need to win to get into the playoffs. Again, they need to win or they need a Beulah loss, but Beulah up right now a touchdown over Bowman County. Giving off to Rederath. Near a 3-yard gain. For Dickinson Trinity, this game, wouldn't say it doesn't matter because they're already locked into the playoffs, but this game could be big in seeding. They win today, they could become big Central Mclean fans tomorrow and see if they can potentially try to make it a 3-way tie if Central Mclean would beat Kilter tomorrow. And as it would kind of sit, Trinity would have a decent shot there to be the 1 seed if a 3-way tie would be offered. McGregor, patient, quick little chop hit there that drops him down after a loss of 1 as well. They'll mark it. So bring him back to a 3rd and 8. Again, they are in the ServPro red zone. First time either team has been in the ServPro red zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup, and restoration. It's ServPro. Took about a quarter and a half to get the first red zone appearance. Rough Riders seeing if they can try to punch it in for a couple of points on the board. But a flag going to be thrown out, and they're initiating. It's going to be on the Rough Riders. 5 yards will make it now 3rd and long as the rain continues to pour well. They'll mark him right at the 20-yard line. There's Brody Kuntz, quarterback of the Dickinson Trinity Titans, a junior. It's been the start of the last couple of seasons. Got starts as a sophomore a year ago. He's led his team for putting them in a position to potentially have a share of the region title. They hand it off to Rederath. Jordan Ham and Alonzo Kuderna will wrap them up. They'll say he gets back to about the initial line of scrimmage. Give it down 4th and about 10 coming up. Now we'll see what they elect to do. And again, 11A, you don't have a ton of kickers available, especially in a rainy type situation. And for a run-heavy team, We'll see if they elect to keep it on the ground or try to go a play-action play here. They will go play-action. Laning flips it on over to Rederath. Near the first down marker, potentially a yard short, a late flag near the first down marker, which could determine if it's going to be a first down or not. Again, he's going to be marked 2 yards short, so if it's on Southern Mclean, it will be a defensive stop. But no, a face mask on Dickinson Trinity. An automatic first down for the Rough Riders. The crew out of Washburn, Wilton, and Wing will take that any day of the week. As Dickinson Trinity's defense stopped him a yard short, but it was a hand in the face mask of Ethan Rederath that will keep this drive alive for the team that hit the road today. Less than 3 minutes in half number 1 remain. Brand new set of downs to work with. Ball at the 5. Handing it off, up the gut, Rederath pushes, stalled out, will be marked about a yard short. They elect to not do anything too fancy, a little bit of motion in the backfield, but just, hey, run it right up the middle. They'll mark it 2nd and 2 officially. More kind of at the 1.5 yard line. Just a notch above that 2 yard line marker. Back to Rederath. He's in for 6, and Southern Mclean strikes before halftime. Southern Mclean gets on the board first, and they go back to what got them there. Ethan Rederath, the junior, who tallies his 11th rushing touchdown on the season. So 2:28 remaining after the Rederath touchdown. 2 yard touchdown. They'll go back this time, trying to pitch it out to the outside. It's a double pitch. Out to Rederath again. Going to be called short. So just make it 6. Let's take a look on this little double pitch play for Southern Mclean. They pitch it out to Volmuth, who pitches it out again to Rederath, but Titans quickly forcing him into the outside. But Southern Mclean up first. They score before the half, 6-0. We've got 2:20 as Dickinson Trinity will get the ball back when we return on the PSP Network.
Every football fan has their Sunday routine. Maybe it's setting your lineup, firing up the grill, or claiming your spot on the couch. But the center of every Sunday is the drive. The morning drive home before kickoff. The drive to your buddy's watch party. Wherever you're headed, we can take you there.
Southern Mclean strikes first as those running backs, Volmuth, McGregor, and Rederath, combine for a good drive. Rederath, the one to punch it in for his 11th rushing touchdown on the season, puts his Rough Riders in the lead in what could come down to a must-win game for the Rough Riders. I mean, it is kind of that must-win. I mean, you don't want to rely on other games around the state. You want to have it in your own hands. For a team that, again, in 2022 had 2 wins, 3 wins in 23, 4 wins in 24, and right now 5 wins in 2025. Picked up by Hugh Meyer. He's patient, finds a gap, surges forward, pushed out at the 36-yard line. Hugh Meyer, known for his running out of the backfield, comes up with a big kick return, setting in the Titans for a good opportunity to strike back. before we get to the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show in 2 minutes and 11 seconds of game time. And sometimes that's how these games go. You see defense, 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 and then one big offensive score, and then it's the floodgates open or vice versa as Meyer breaks the tackle, get to the 30. We saw that last week with DHS and St. Mary's. The floodgates were open right away, 21-21 at halftime, but the game ended 24-21 with the last score being a field goal game winner. So it's just one of those things where you don't know how the game's going to mark. It could be all defense one half, all offense the next. Or a little bit of sprinkle right now is mostly defense. But the final 6 minutes looking to try to be the offense. Meyer gets it on the pitch. He's going to stay kind of inside the numbers, breaks a tackle, and he's in for 6. A quick response for Trinity. Hugh Meyer with the touchdown for Dickinson Trinity. Little pitch play, patient running, finds the gap, breaks a tackle, and he's in to even things up at 6 apiece. For Meyer's 15th rushing touchdown on the season, his 17th touchdown overall, with adding in those 2 defensive touchdowns he has. And now Devin Hilton trying to put the Titans up by 1. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. Titans on top 7-6 after striking less than a minute from the Southern Mclean score. And the offenses being on full display late here in the second quarter.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Welcome back in. Here to the Queen City at Fisher Field. Dickinson Trinity leads 7-6 after Hugh Meyer with a 30-plus yard run, evening it up and answering back just a minute after the Ethan Rederath touchdown. We had graphics pregame about those 2 players, and those 2 right now dazzling, getting those touchdowns right before the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Ball going to drop at the 20. Having get muffs on the field. A flag's going to be thrown out as well, as Glosser will trip up. That's Rederath again, or Volmuth, excuse me, at the 30-yard line. Some scores rolling on your screen. Looks like Minot right now a chance to get their first win on the season. Up 20-6 against Mandan. That one also caught on the PSP network. Again, 5 great games here on display tonight. And you can find them on YouTube. Maybe you already got multiple different TVs going, watching all of us here on a rainy day or night across the state. Again, here's all the matchups on display that we're bringing to you tonight. Century Legacy, Mandan versus Minot High, Minot North and Jamestown, Southern Mclean, Dickinson Trinity, and again, we even got some 9-man action, West Hope, Newburgh, Glenburn, and Ned Rose. More of the games on Thursday night than Friday night. We'll have a 2-pack of games tomorrow. Patient running will pick up a gain of about 1 as time dwindling to about a minute. Again, tomorrow night, Friday night football. Killdeer versus Central Mclean. Again, if you're a Dickinson Trinity fan, you probably want to keep a close eye on that one, depending on seeding. And then TGU versus MLS. That's going to be a big one in seeding there for Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood, as well, as they could be as high as the 2 seed in their respective region. Hands it up the gut near the first down marker, and I think with a late push, they will give it to him. First down for Southern Mclean. Good hard-nosed running, but again, they are out of timeouts. They used 2 in the first quarter, and then 1 here in this early on in the second quarter. And with a run-heavy offense, don't think Rough Riders will be all too aggressive of trying to get down the field. Maybe they'll just wait for one last play. And again, it looks like that's probably what's going to be with 10 seconds on the play clock. They do got to make a play, so it looks like they're just going to wait until it dwindles and take a penalty. So delay a game. By the looks of Coach Bo Erickson, he was kind of raising his hands up like he wanted a reset of the play clock. You see that a lot in the NFL. But I don't think his wish is going to be granted. It will not. It's going to be a delay a game on the offense. So it will be the final play of the first half. Trinity leads 7-6, and time is going to keep on rolling, and we're not going to have a final play of the first half. It's already happened as we are headed in to the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show with Dickinson Trinity up on top by a point, 7-6, the difference maker. The PAT by Devin Hilton as Titans will go towards the tunnels up by 1.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esfold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Welcome in to the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Charbonneau Car Center, they know drivers in Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Belfield, Williston, North Dakota, and Glendive, Montana. Work hard, play hard, need a car that can keep up. That's why they choose to offer Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Line up at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at charbonneaumotors.com. Well, first half in the books, and it's been quite the entertaining first half between these two teams. There you see Southern Mclean electing not to go into the tunnels. It's got word that they like to just stay on the field during halftime. Hey, that's how it's done there, saying right in the pouring rain. And, hey, when it's raining and it's already cold, I think it might be worse to get warm and then get cold again. So, hey, might as well just stay in the elements here tonight for the Rough Riders. First quarter was all the defensive plays as it was held scoreless in the opening frame, but a couple of nice plays defensively really kind of just kept the teams off the scoreboard. There was a really nice punt for Jordan Ham that pushed Southern Mclean way down the field as well when they would have had great field position. And then in the second quarter, it all started coming in the final about 5 minutes or so. Southern Mclean works down the field. On the ground game, Ethan Rederath punches it in for his 11th touchdown on the year, and that was a 2-yard touchdown. 6-0 could not get the 2-point conversion, and just 58 seconds later, it was Hugh Meyer who goes for a 30-yard touchdown run, and that would end up making it 7-6 to go into half. So Rederath and Meyer, two players we knew were going to be big factors, scored late, heading us into halftime, 7-6. More to come on the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this game as well as take a look at scores across the great state.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome back into the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Dickinson Trinity leads by a singular point, 7-6, against Southern Mclean. This part of the halftime show, let's take a check in at scores around the great state. And a lot of playoff implications rolling on tonight, and we'll finish off tomorrow in the final week of 11A and 9-man football. And we'll talk about Region 4 first. This one has some implications. Trinity with a win would be in a chance to maybe be in a three-way tiebreaker, depending if Central Mclean would beat Killdeer tomorrow or not, but at least would be in a running for that opportunity with a win tonight. But right now, I'll go up by one. For Southern Mclean, a win tonight would secure them in the playoffs and get that last ticket punched, representing region number 4. If Southern Mclean cannot win tonight against the Titans, they would need Bowman County to win against Beulah. That one tied 6-6 as they are on now, just starting the second half. So keep an eye on that one. Bowman County again held winless last year. Ends up right now at 3 wins this year, even though they would be could be tied record-wise with Southern Mclean. Again, the Rough Riders have to win against the Bulldogs, so again, they're big fans right now of those Bulldogs that are evened up against Beulah. Other results, Shiloh Christian leads over Heart River 14-6. Both those teams outside of the playoff race this year. Park River area over in, was that region number 2, up 16-0 over Harvey Wells County, trying to make sure they are the 2 seed in that region. Langdon area, Edmore Munich, up 20-0. They will be the 1 seed in that region, up at half. Carrington defeats Thompson 26-0, so they're into the playoffs. Lisbon over Sargent County 6-0. I believe they still got to wait with some potential tiebreakers. Do the Broncos, but those are your scores in 11A. More 11A games coming your way tomorrow. And some big matchups. Ellendale Edgeley Calm against Oaks has some playoff implications. Hillsborough Central Valley versus Mayport CG has some. DLB versus Stanley. Northern Cass versus Valley City. Ray Powers Lake versus Botno. And then Central Mclean versus Killdeer. And you can catch that one on the PSP Network tomorrow night. For 9-man, again, they are in their season-closing regular season week as well. Larimore leads over Midway Minto 18-16. West Hope Newburgh over Nedrose 16-6. Jonas Nelson on the call here on the PSP Network tonight with that one, as that is at halftime. I believe those are the 2 games that don't have any playoff indications there. Both teams are going to find themselves outside just missing, but now we'll take a look at the ones that have playoff implications in 9-man. Cavalier leads over North Border 14-6. North Border will probably be the 2 seed in that region, though. Looks like Cavalier will miss out, but could be a momentum game there for Cavalier to close out their season. New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock leads 40-16 against 4 wins. St. John defeated North Prairie 40-14. So North Prairie was potentially in that mark. They needed a win to secure a 3 seed, but they'll see 4 wins. Looks like falling to New Rockford. So North Prairie will be the 3. 4 wins will be the 4, and the New Rockford will be that 1 in that division with North Border the 2. And Alexander running past Dunseith tonight 44-8 to make sure they are that number 1 outright seed in region number 3, winning all their games this year, are the 4th-ranked team of the state, the Comets. Now we move on to AA, where we'll get into playoff implications with that more when we talk about the broadcast next week, DHS versus Minot North. Will have it, but something maybe DHS didn't want to see tonight. Bismarck St. Mary's picks up the win 35-12 over Watford City. Fargo South leads over Grand Forks Red River 20-14. All Minot North to stay perfect on the year 42-0, and Kindred looking to stay perfect on the year as well 26-0 against Wahpeton at the half. AAA football, Minot looking for their first win on the year, up at half 20-6. And West Fargo Cheyenne over the number 3rd-ranked Deacons out of Shanley 28-22. So again, those are all your score updates. Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Again, some Thursday night football going on your screen. Century, Legacy, Mandan versus Minot, Jamestown, Minot North, Southern Mclean, Dickinson, Trinity, and West Hope, Newburgh, Nedrose right here on the PSP Network. You can find us on our website or on YouTube. Well, second half coming up in just a couple of moments. Here between Trinity and Southern Mclean, it's a 1-point game as we head on over to the third when we return on the PSP Network.
It's time for this week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in. And this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to
Interception.
Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs.
The Aggie Foundation. You can vote each week for the PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Nominees will be posted on social media each Monday with the winner announced on Thursday. The Player Performance of the Week is sponsored in part by the Aggie Foundation and by Minot State. You can learn about their charitable work at aggiefoundation.com. Well, we might see a potential nominee here in this game for next week's Aggie Foundation Player of the Game. Again, you can keep tab on that. It will be released there on Monday, and then you can comment the name of the player that you think deserves the Performance Player of the Week, brought to you by the Aggie Foundation. Trinity scored with under 2 minutes to close out the first half of play. The PAT was good by Devin Hilton, and that is the difference maker thus far. Little squib kick picked up by Simiano, who could not quite hold on to it, but at least he directs it out of bounds in his sake as that one goes out of play at the 35. Again, rain is pouring pretty well, and I don't think it's let up at all since we've got here today. And it's at least the joys of at least playing on turf, because if you're at some of those 9-man fields during these type of days, it can get quite muddy out there, that's for sure, and quite tore up. Meyer trying to run up to the middle, but he is brought down by Gage Wolf on the tackle. Especially with Dickinson State, the Blue Hawks practicing before this game, right? As soon as they left the field, Trinity and Southern Mclean got onto the field. Dickinson State had their 100th year homecoming last weekend, and talked to Jason Watson. He said about 4,000 people attended the homecoming. Just great numbers. It was jam-packed as Ham will pack that one right up the middle, and he will get close to the first down marker. Markham a yard short. 3rd and 1 coming up for the home team. They'll bring in Brady Holman, the leading receiver on the squad. 271 receiving yards, a couple of receiving touchdowns. He's on the bottom of your screen. Emerson Simiano on the top. Kuntz hands it off to Meyer. Bounces to the outside. He'll pick up a first down. Then some flag is thrown, though, in the backfield. He'll get into the Southern Mclean 35, but it looks like this could indicate it's coming back. By the placement of that flag, holding on the offense. And we've seen both teams be affected by that when they have that big breakout play being called back because of a penalty marker. What could have got them well into the Rough Rider territory. They will be put back in to their own, probably around 35, maybe even deeper there. So instead of being at the Southern Mclean 35, they'll be at their own 35 for the Titans here on a 3rd and 11. on their first drive in quarter number 3. Meyer and Ham having a conversation in the backfield. They fake it to Meyer. Now they'll pitch it to Meyer as it goes behind him there. He could not quite find it in the falling rain as it goes incomplete and potentially going to bring out the punt team. Glauser, Kuderna, and Luke Eilts all check in. Southern Mclean comes away with a defensive stop to start the third quarter. Ham's already had one booming punt. Here's another. Has a friendly drop at the 35, bounces throughout the 22, picked up by Rederath, who's tripped up, and they will mark the drive to start at the 34-yard line for Josh Laning and the Rough Riders. So Laning and company looking to see if they can find that point to put them back in the positive. Region 4 has, again, 2 games that are on that watch list. This one, and then Beulah and Bowman County. That one 6-6. This one 6-7. So some very low-scoring ground-and-pound football games going across here in Region 4 tonight. They'll pitch it out to the outside of Olmuth. He will shift his way out of bounds as he scurries, maybe for a gain of 1. Not going to get much on the play. Maybe, again, that gain of 1. It's going to mark up 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 territory. But for these two teams, other than, a muffed punt and a snap that got over the head of the quarterback, some pretty clean football in the terms of just handling it in the rain. Both teams have thrown an interception in the first half. But other than that, it's been good, clean, secure football in a day that has rained pretty much all day in the Queen City. Rained probably majority of the state as well. Bismarck and Minot were getting some rain. Rained the entirety of this game and probably going to keep on doing that here. So will that take away the pass game before these two teams? It's helped the defenses kind of help stack the box. Volmuth in motion. They'll hand it off the misdirection to McGregor. McGregor powers through some contact as he will fall 2 yards short of the first down marker, bringing up 4th and 2. Again, they will bring back all 3 of their impressive running backs, the sophomore Levi McGregor, and then they've got 2 juniors in Rederath and Volmuth. On offense, this team is only going to lose 2 seniors. Isaiah Acevedo, as well as Mason Nielsen. But other than that, they return all their starters on both sides of the field except 2 offensive starters. They'll hand it up the middle, and it's good for a first down for the Rough Riders. Keeping the drive alive, they go back to Mr. Reliable, Ethan Rederath, up the middle. Shrugs away some early contact. He needed about 2. He gets 3 and moved the chains. Some tough yards, and again, the battle in the trenches. 2 experienced lines. They'll give it to Volmuth. On the sweep, he's tackled immediately, and he'll be wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. So not going to gain anything, maybe an inch or 2 on that one, but other than that, not going to get a full yard out of the bunch there for Volmuth. Killstrup, the lone receiver. They bring in McGregor in motion, but before anything gets done, they will whistle that one immediately. False start on the Rough Riders. Not what they wanted to see. moving back into a 2nd and 15 coming up for the team that has hit the road today. Got a nice little road trip out of the crew from Washburn, Wilton, and Wing. The co-op that began in 2011 this season has been the most successful. First 5-win season. First year that offense has put up over 200 yards in a season for the Rough Riders. They go back to McGregor. McGregor finds some room before being dropped by Ham and Glauser right at midfield. They'll put him at the 49, staying in Southern Mclean territory. Well, that gets a big chunk of that penalty yardage back and sets up 3rd and manageable for Southern Mclean. For any Southern Mclean listeners out there, might be a sigh of relief. What I'm going to tell you here, Bowman County has just scored a touchdown, 14-6 against Beulah halfway through the 3rd. And again, if Southern Mclean doesn't win tonight, they would need Beulah to lose, and right now Beulah down by 8. To try to get their ticket punch for their 2nd straight playoff appearance and their only 3rd playoff trip since their co-op introduction in 2011. Every year they have just continued to make those positive gains under Bo Erickson. Last year, a young team, finished with 4 wins. This year, still a young team, only graduating 2 seniors this year with 5 wins. Titans defense want the fans to get loud. Laning under pressure, just got to throw one in the dirt. Big time play for Parker Orrs. Provides the pressure, and Laning just having to spike that one. Nowhere to go. Nice reaction, though, for Laning to get that ball out of the hands, because it forces the Titans to start the drive at their own 49 instead of probably would have been near the 35 of Southern Mclean territory. So it could have been just a big, about 16-yard difference from just not taking that sack. Kuntz flips it to the left to Meyer. He hits the gas pedal. He gets a first down to the 30, the 20, the 10. He is in. Meyer with his 2nd on the night. Hugh Meyer making it 13-6. Dickinson Trinity. There you see that extra jolt. It looked like the Rough Riders had 2 chances, but the NDSU wrestling commit outruns them to the end zone. 13-6. A big breakout run, 51 yards for Meyer. And Devin Hilton going to see if he can make it an 8-point game. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is through. Titans up after the 51-yard Hugh Meyer touchdown. Devin Hilton makes it an 8-point game. He's 2 for 2 on the PAT. 5:49 remaining in quarter number 3.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
5:49 remaining. Trinity has gone up 14-6 against Southern Mclean. The Rough Riders need either a win or a Beulah loss to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Right now they trail by 8, but lucky for them, Beulah also trails by 8 against Bowman County tonight. So Hugh Meyer, 51-yard touchdown run on the first play of the possession. Just took it right on the play. You saw the breakout speed. Just one of those just amazing athletes. going to be wrestling at the D1 level next year, but has turned himself in to being one of those premier backs in 11A football, maybe even the state for Hugh Meyer. Goes in the hands of Easton Rederath, trying to push to the outside. Pyle will move all the way to the 31 after Tucker Scogan made the initial contact for the Titans. So a nice return, getting it on to the 31-yard line as we're halfway through the third quarter. So let's see what Coach Bo Erickson has brewing in his 5th year. Trying to find that 6th win. Again, this is already the most wins in a single season under co-op history for Southern Mclean. Seeing if they can capture another one and get back-to-back playoff appearances secured and don't have to continue to score watch what's going on between Beulah and Bowman County tonight. Not going to get much there on the run up the middle. Ball carry, it looked like throwing the ball up was Levi McGregor. Cheer team for Dickinson Trinity continuing to try to get that student section rocking here on a Thursday night. Again, some Thursday night football to close out the regular season of 11A and 9-man this year. They'll finish it up with a few games across the state at those level tomorrow night. And we'll have 2 of them tomorrow right here on the PSP Network. Again, tune in Friday night football tomorrow. Killdeer versus Central Mclean. TGU versus Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood. I'm going to probably have to make it somehow make 3 screens available for myself, get those 2 games on, and then I got to watch some UND Minnesota hockey as well. But 2 big games there on the PSP Network tomorrow. Volmuth in motion, handed off to Rederath up the middle. Quick tackle in on it was, I believe that was Alonzo Kuderna that flashed the ball, him and Jordan Ham. Bringing up 4th and 3. And this is the thing with these 2 teams is they can inch down the field because they're great running teams, and you don't need those breakout plays. If you average about 3 yards per carry, you're right there for a 4th and short. Right now, 4th and 3. Volmuth in motion. 12 seconds on the play clock. They look over to Coach Erickson, and there he's going to give the kicking sign. He shows the boot, laning, moves to punt. No one back there for the Titans to return, as Southern Mclean having a tough time to kind of slow that ball down, but it was again initially touched right around the 28-yard line, 27-yard line, so that's where the Titans will set up shop. Good work, though, there for Bo Erickson's company. There to kind of disguise what they were going to do and force the Titans not to send a returner back there. Couldn't quite get that friendly roll, just kind of stayed linear. Ball will start at the 29 with 3:28 remaining in the third quarter. Rain has continued to drop and might even look like it's coming down even better now as the night's gone on. Direct snap out to the quarterback. Kuntz going to try to stiff arm a defender. Almost spins away from contact. We stopped for a gain of about 2 or 3 for Kuntz, who is showing that he's a dual threat quarterback. Again, we haven't seen too many rushing attempts from him throughout the season. Game of the day, 21 carries through the first 7 weeks, about 3 carries per game, 72 yards of rushing on his offense. But today has got more than 3 attempts on the ground. He had a big one, but it was called back due to a penalty. High snap, puts it right into the chest of Meyer, who lowers his head, finds a way for a gain of 3. Great work there for Kuntz. He's already had one that's been above him on a snap, and this time just climbs the ladder, make sure he can keep that one in front of him. Hands it off to Meyer, picks up a gain of 3. Without much rain, I bet that ball is not easy to grip and maintain, that's for sure, but these two teams doing a good job of securing the ball. Ball security key, especially late. He'll pass it on over to Meyer on a pitch play. Meyer, patient, jumping to the outside. Give him the first down unless he went out of bounds. Very close marker. And they will move the chains. Put it right on where that chain was. So right there, it looked like he would have had the first down, but might have had that foot out of bounds at a point. So instead of maybe being a yard safe, it was right on the money, but still gets the first down, moves the chains, keeps the drive moving for the Titans. They'll go back to a quarterback-designed run. Kuntz tucks it, runs it to the 40, to the 35, the 30. One man to beat, and he will. Kuntz in the end zone with the fist pump and everything. Brody Kuntz. We talked about it earlier this drive, not known for his running early on in the season. But tonight, he's put it on full display and has put the Titans up by 2 scores. Let's see it here. The 20, the 15. He knew he had it. Here's the fist bump before he crosses in for 6. Devin Hilton awaiting the snap. Scogan puts it down. That one high in the sky and drops in for Devin Hilton. 21-6 after the quarterback designed run that takes it to the house for Brody Kuntz. Titans lead 21-6. Just over a minute left to play in the third quarter.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in. Titans have scored 2 50-plus yard runs here in this one. And both of them occurring in the third quarter to help them put themselves in the driver's seat tonight against Southern Mclean. 21-6, less than 2 minutes before we get ready for the fourth quarter. So 13 and a half minutes left in this one. Southern Mclean seeing if they can try to answer back quickly. Scooped up by Rederath. Goes up the middle, and he'll be gobbled up by a whole crew of players in the red and white. And that will start the drive at the 29. Southern Mclean just looking for that big punch. Seeing if they can land one of their own. They've taken 2 haymakers to the chin here in the third quarter, but seeing if they can throw one back to try to get in contention for quote-unquote round 10, that fourth quarter. Rederath. Tripped up on the play, not able to go far as Jace Peters in on the tackle, one of the leader tacklers on this team. Leads the team at TFLs, though, tackles for loss, 17 on the year. This one not going to quite be a TFL, but pretty close. As 2nd and 10, he got back to the line of scrimmage, did Rederath. What could potentially be the final play, depending on when it's snapped here in the third quarter. Back to Rederath it goes. That could be the final play before we head into quarter number 4. Again, Ethan Rederath, there you see on his screen. This was before the game. 919 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns. He has the lone touchdown for Southern Mclean today. Also added a catch, so has 14 receptions this year, over 120 yards. And with the rushing performance today, I believe he's probably right around 1,000 yards on the season. For an impressive year for the junior. But that will close it out for quarter number 4. Coach Erickson electing to let it run and just get ready for the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to decide the winner. But Dickinson Trinity pushes it in their favor with 2 50-plus yard rushing touchdowns in quarter number 3 to lead 21-6 when we return for fourth quarter. Southern Mclean continues on with their drive.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Score update between Beulah and Bowman. Beulah scored to tie it up, but Bowman County scored again. So 20-12 over there in Beulah tonight. Again, Southern Mclean right now as this score sets is big Bulldog fans, and the Bulldogs lead by 8. So Southern Mclean can't win this game outright. They would need Bowman County to beat Beulah. Right now that is happening. So as we sit right now, Southern Mclean has that playoff spot thanks to the Bulldogs. And what a big win for Southern Mclean against Bowman County earlier on this year. 4th and short. Try to get it to Rederath, but it's going to be whistled. Late flag being thrown, so the whistle occurred before the flag was onto the field. Offsides on the defense. Give them the guaranteed first down for Southern Mclean. So moves the chains, and that's exactly what the Rough Riders needed here in the fourth quarter. Not saying this is a must-score drive, but it's kind of starting to feel that way, especially with the Titans scoring twice in the third quarter. McGregor bounces to the outside. He's wrapped up by Jake Glauser. Glauser again, one of those seniors on senior day. Elijah Gillick, Brady Holman, Luke Iltz, Jake Glauser, Hugh Meyer, TJ Meyer, the seniors on this Dickinson Trinity squad, playing in their final regular season home game, representing Dickinson Trinity. They'll be playing in the postseason and has a shot of hosting a postseason game, depending on how that all shakes out tomorrow between Killdeer and Central Mclean, which can be found again on the PSP Network. Todd Domries will be on the call for that one. If Dickinson Trinity wins this one, then they'll have a shot. If Killdeer wins tomorrow, then Trinity will just be the 2 seed. But if Central Mclean wins tomorrow, it depends on how big of the win against Killdeer point-wise it would be. Laning throws a deep one. It's caught by Benning. Brings them within the 10-yard line. Laning with the dot. Setting them up well into the Serve Pro red zone. A beautiful catch to Caleb Benning, who has been his top receiver here tonight. That is what the doctor ordered for Southern Mclean. Caleb Benning entered the day with 3 receptions for 50 yards on the season. Well, none bigger than that one. Rederath spins off of contact, and he's held up at the 3-yard line. Rough Riders, no quit out of Erickson's crew. Again, this is a team that elected to not go into the tunnel. It's rained all night long, pretty much the entire day here in the Queen City. Elected, hey, we're going to stay out in the rain. Movement. They'll hand it off back to Rederath in the gut. Maybe gets a gain of 1 or 2. Markham looks like at the 2-yard line from this vantage point. 2 or 3-yard line is where they'll have them. Hugh Meyer, Jace Peters with the team tackle. Even say if Southern Mclean scores this drive, Trinity making these stops in the Surf Pro red zone help with, for their sake of helping that time continue to dwindle down. Lading fakes the handoff, works it out to Volmuth, lowers the shoulder, he's in for 6. A nice run with the exclamation point ending for Brady Volmuth, as he is in for 6. Let's see the instant replay of the run. Here comes Volmuth in motion. Gets outside the numbers. 1 man to beat. Lower the shoulder, and you're in for 6. They're going for 2. Trying to make it a 7-point game. They fake it one way. Misdirection pass into the hands of Rederath, who stumbles. And that will keep it a 2-possession game after the touchdown for Brady Volmuth. Cannot get the 2-point try. And Dickinson Trinity with the PAT kicker. Devin Height continues to be the difference on the scoreboard, helping them make it a 2-possession game instead of a 1-possession game. 21-12, 8:35 remaining in quarter number 4 when we continue on the PSP Network.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. 1 pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
(21-12). Trinity has scored 3 touchdowns. Southern Mclean has scored 2, but it's still a 2-possession game thanks to Devin Hilton. Again, PAT kicking. You don't see it a ton at 9-man or 11A. Trinity, one of the few teams that has them. And so far, that has been the difference maker. What very well could be a 1-possession game. Gives Trinity a little bit of breathing room. As Southern Mclean needs still 2 touchdowns in the next 8.5 minutes. Or at least 2 scores. Might need a safety and a touchdown, something like that. Trinity's offense was on full display. They fake it to Ham. They pitch it out to Meyer. Picks up a gain of 3. Picking up 2 50-plus yard touchdowns. Meyer and Brody Kuntz each had a score. The game in Beulah right now, 8 minutes left in that one as well. Bowman County continues the lead, 20-12. Bulldogs have the football. Second and 6. Hand it off to Meyer. Splits through the middle. Brings it all the way to the marker. Just marked a yard short. 3rd and 1 for the Titans. Signs probably point to them keeping on the ground. That's pretty much, they've been kept. I don't think they've really thrown too many passes as this Titans team. Maybe 2, maybe something around that mark. But other than that, it just kept it on the ground between Kuntz, Ham, and Meyer. 3rd and 1. Giving it to the fullback. Ham gets what he needs and continues to churn the legs up to the 46-yard line. First down for Jordan Ham, the junior fullback. 222 rushing yards entering the day, averaging 13 yards per carry. Fullback gets what he needs there to continue on the Titan drive. Bring it within 7 minutes to the conclusion of this contest. Rough Riders showing some pressure. Meyer with a stutter step. Just getting back to the line of scrimmage. Some good work on that defensive unit. Finding that early pressure and forcing all sorts of problems. I believe the first player there was Carter Geiger. Gets to the outside, seals the edge, and when Meyer gets that ball, there's nowhere he can go. All built there by Geiger, just setting that edge on that near side, and Meyer just kind of had to be patient and see if maybe a hole opens up late. Back to Kuntz. He shoots through the gap again. A first down, then some, to the 20, the 10, and he's got another 50-plus yard run, does the quarterback, Brody Kuntz. Brody Kuntz, normally more of a pocket passer. He's a dual threat tonight. Over 100 yards on the ground and a pair of touchdowns. Puts Dickinson Trinity up 27-12. And let's see it again. There's another fist bump. Brody Kuntz feeling it right now. 2 big touchdowns, 27-12. Trinity going to take a timeout before we get to the extra point, and we will take one with them. Kuntz has made it 27-12, 6:10 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Breathe in.
I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Welcome back in as signs point towards Trinity going for it. Devin Hilton, who's a perfect 3 for 3 on tonight on the PAT, still on the sidelines. Again, if they would kick the PAT, it would still be a 2-possession game. Oderman wanting to roll the dice and make sure it's a 3-possession game. If they get it, it's a 3-possession game. If they don't, it will be a 2-possession. Down the stretch as we get to the late stages of this one. Kuntz fakes to the left. He rolls to the right. Trying to throw a lob pass. It is incomplete. So Oderman decides to try to gamble, to try to put this game maybe on quote-unquote ice, trying to put that one away to make it 3 possessions, but we'll keep it 2. And Southern Mclean now will try to score 2 touchdowns in just a couple ticks over the 6-minute mark. They'll be getting the ball back when we return. 6:10 left on the scoreboard. Brought to you by BNC Bank.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
Southern Mclean fans, cover your ears because not only did you see Trinity just score, Beulah has also scored. It is now 20-18 Bowman County, 6 minutes left, and I don't think Beulah has attempted the 2-point try to tie that game yet, so we will keep a close eye on that. I think the 2-point try probably going on right now, but Beulah has pulled within 2 of Bowman County. Again, that is Southern Mclean can't win this game. They need Bowman County to win to get into the playoffs. Right now, the Bulldogs up by 2, but Beulah has just scored on them and trying that 2-point try to potentially tie it. It was Dickinson Trinity that has had the breakout plays here in the second half. Both teams didn't have that big home run hitting play in the first. Except for Dickinson Trinity in that final minute, you could say there in the first quarter, or in the second quarter, but right here in this third quarter, it was all kind of Dickinson Trinity with those home run type runs. 3 50-plus yard runs in the second half for Trinity. That has helped them open up this game. McGregor getting back to the line of scrimmage. Jake Glauser all fired up. Shoving all of his teammates. He's fired up right now. It's senior day, and his team's winning 27-12. Handing it back to Rederath. Gets pushed out of bounds. On your screen now, it's who is next for the region champions. Shiloh won it in 2020, Bowman County 2021, Beulah in 22, Trinity in 23, Killdeer in 24. 5 different years, 5 different champions. Well, Killdeer is going to earn a share of the crown, but will they win it outright to go back-to-back? Trinity could get a share of the crown with a Central Mclean win tomorrow versus Killdeer, make a 3-way tie, and I guess that could also kind of make it another different champion with Central Mclean their first year up at the 11A level. After all the years at 9-man under the co-op there of Underwood, Turtle Lake, and Mercer. Brady Holman in with the tackle, forcing 4th and 6. How deep in the bag does Bo Erickson go? Don't know if he's keeping his score tallies or someone is relaying the message what the score is going for Bowman County Beulah. But right now you can't think about that game. Try to make your own path. Laning gonna throw, and he won't get one off. He is sacked by a whole crew of Titans. Ingris Niembona with the sack, and there's Jake Glauser again, letting them know it. A big-time sack from Ingris Niembona. The sophomore goes right up the heart of the line and drives down Laning. And not only is that a big defensive stop, it gives the Titans near perfect field position just outside the 25-yard line. Kuntz looks to throw, faces pressure. He's just going to tuck it and run. He's inside the Serpro red zone as he's scattles out of bounds right at the 15-yard line here at Fisher Field. Nice little run there for Kuntz. And again, he entered the day with 70 rushing yards on the season. He is absolutely doubled that and then some. Well over 100 yards rushing for the junior quarterback for Dickinson Trinity. Fakes the handoff to Meyer. Trinity throws it in. There's a nice throw into Jordan Ham. Kuntz completes the pass for a gain of 8. Brody Kuntz showing he is that dual threat tonight. Seen him much of the season more as that pocket passer when he does go to throw. But has been able to make the big plays on the ground, and there's a nice little pitch and catch. Goes for 7, keeps the clock moving. Back to the handoff of Meyer. He cuts inside. He is in. Hugh Meyer in for 6. Hugh Meyer with his third touchdown on the night, putting the Titans up 33-12, 3:51 remaining. They will bring out Devin Hilton, the PAT kicker, to try to boot it through. He was a perfect 3 for 3 on his attempts today. Scogan's hold good. Hilton's kick just as good. It's through the uprights. Trinity leads 34-12. Less than 4 minutes remaining. Southern Mclean getting the ball back when we return.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we treat every day like game day.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen, on 2. Ready?
We know how to get you in the right vehicle.
Buchanans, and hut, hut.
From the test drive to the handoff, we make every step easy. This season, start your drive at Ryan Buick GMC.
Brody Kuntz has been an X factor tonight through the air and on the ground. 2 rushing touchdowns. He made a big throw, a nice 7-yard throw in this drive that then led to him handing it off to Hugh Meyer to close out the drive with a score. Meyer would end up picking up his 3rd touchdown on the day. Those two have definitely had their mileage all the way turned up today. Rederath not going to quit for the Rough Riders. Busted out to the 50, to the 40. A big time hit for Jordan Ham, but a big return for the Riders. Had one man to get by, and Jordan Ham was going to make sure he wasn't the one to give up the score. 3:41 remaining. Southern Mclean hoping that that's not the last 4 minutes of their season. And lucky news for Rough Rider fans. They stopped Beulah from the 2-point conversion, and the Bulldogs have scored a touchdown. So Bowman County leads 28-18, 2 minutes remaining. So Southern Mclean right now still in a playoff spot. It looks like, barring anything crazy there in Beulah in the final 2 minutes, despite the loss tonight, the Rough Riders could still be bowling in the playoffs and get those dancing shoes on. It don't matter how you get there. Once you're in the field of 16, everyone's got the same amount of odds to be at the Dakota Bowl at the end of the season and hoist a state title. McGregor in motion. They hand it off to Rederath. He's brought down quickly by Glauser and company. Glauser, Meyer, the first two to get there. Titans have just been fired up on defense. Jake Glauser has kind of been that Energizer bunny. Anytime there's been a big play, he's either been around it or he's the first player to congratulate the player that made the play tonight. The senior that's leaving it all on the football field and trying to help the Titans secure the best seeding possible to help them give the best route to Fargo when things are said and done. Again, playoffs will start next Saturday for 11 and 9-man. So Saturday will be the 11A football playoffs opening round. AA and AAA will close out the regular season on Friday night. We'll have DHS taking on Minot North to close out the Mavericks football year 2025 campaign of the regular season right here on the PSP Network. Right here from the Bijou Activity Center. Laning quickly sacked on the play. Jace Peters He leads them in TFLs and sacks for a reason. Peters quick to the backfield. Gobbles up laning there for a big-time loss. Pushes him all the way back to his own 41. Third and forever coming up for Southern Mclean. 3rd and 28. They'll just pitch it out to McGregor. Ripped down by Hugh Meyer, but I think he might have grabbed the horse collar, which could get some free yards for the visitors. Just the way that McGregor got yanked down, it looks like potential horse collar. Looks like the head official kind of grabbed the horse collar for the other official there, kind of showing what happened there. And they will pick up the flag. No horse collar on Dickinson Trinity, and that will force 4th and 28 for the Rough Riders. Seeing if they can keep this drive alive and try to just get some points on the board, get some more points, close out this game with a touchdown. And if that game and Beulah goes their way in the final minutes, they're still going to the playoffs and continue that momentum on to next week. But a quick tackle will have a turnover on downs. So Dickinson Trinity will have the ball for probably the remainder of this game, last minute and 33. So Mclean has 2 timeouts left, but not sure if Erickson going to take them here in the final minutes. Bowman County and Beulah still has not updated, still 2 minutes on the score feed. But for Southern Mclean, if they do get in, they'll have a tough task, as they will have a date with Velva Drake Animus Garrison, the team that booted them out of the playoffs last year. That game was 71-0 Aggies. Meyer with a run. That's going to give him a first down. He's trying to stay in bounds. As you saw there, he was trying to kind of stutter in, but he is pushed out. 1:25 is when the clock will stop. Again, the sister region is where you'll start off playing. So Region 4 and Region 3 will be going head-to-head. Top team in Region 3 will play the 4 seed in Region 4, so that will set us up for what looks like, as of now, Velva Drake Animus Garrison, Southern Mclean. The 2 in Region 3 will play the 3 in Region 4, and then vice versa. Region 4's number 2 will play the 3 over there in Region 3, and then number 1 Region 4 team will play the 4 seed in Region 3. Handshakes already kind of being initiated, with time continuing to tick down around a minute. Could potentially be the last play of the drive and the last play of the game, as Dickinson Trinity will stay perfect at home during the regular season. Since it was a quick knee, they'll have to snap it one more time. Don't have to wait too much time, and they know that they can just quickly snap it again, and that will do it. It was a 1-point game at half, 7-6 Dickinson Trinity, but some big haymakers thrown by the duo of Hugh Meyer and Brody Kuntz allows Dickinson Trinity to stay perfect at home and close the regular season off with a win, 34-12. We'll talk about it on the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show when we come back.
This presentation on the BSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FinRun Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Final score, 34-12. Dickinson Trinity closes out their regular season victorious in a bout against Southern Mclean. Let's talk about how it got to this point. First quarter, it was held scoreless. Much of the same in the second quarter, but Southern Mclean got the wheels going in the positive direction and scored a touchdown by Ethan Retterath. His first on the day with 2:28 remaining in the second. Go up 6-0 right before halftime. But Dickinson Trinity didn't wait long. A 30-yard run for Hugh Meyer made it 7-6. They made the extra point by Devin Hilton, and just like that, would take the lead by 1 going into halftime. In the third quarter, Dickinson Trinity's defense, they just took away that run game for Southern Mclean, and they hit some home runs. They had those big haymakers, a 51-yard Hugh Meyer run, and a 50-plus yard Brody Kuntz run would open up the game 21-6. Brady Volmuth would try to get it back in, would try to stay in contention, got a 3-yard run into the end zone. They didn't get the 2-point conversion, so it stayed a 2-possession game, and Brody Kuntz would find it with another 50-plus yard run. Hugh Meyer would end the game with a 15-yard touchdown run, and that would make it 34-12. Some great individual performances. You really look at those offense and defensive lines. I mean, a whole bunch of different players you can start listing, especially in those first two quarters for both two squads. And then we'll talk about a little bit about some of those playmakers, starting on with Southern Mclean. A couple nice catches there for Caleb Benning. Had 3 receptions coming into the day, had 2 today, and so almost kind of doubles of what he already had on the year. A nice receiving day for him. But, again, those big playmakers, Levi McGregor, Brady Volmuth. Volmuth got a touchdown. Ethan Retterath picked up a touchdown as well, and kind of conducting that offense at the quarterback spot. Laning, who had a couple nice throws and overall was conducting that offense, trying to get that rhythm to go. Was picking up some nice plays, just didn't find the scoreboard other than that once in the first half. Second half, though, that Dickinson Trinity defense was playing on another level. For Dickinson Trinity, you have a lot of different players you can kind of talk about. I believe it was Elijah Gillick or Alonzo Cooner now. I can't remember who got that interception early on, but there was an early interception there. I believe it was Elijah Gillick. Had some nice runs from Jordan Ham up the middle. Defensively, nice plays, some big-time tackles for loss and sacks from Ingris Niambona, Jace Peters, and the energy really just throwing from the senior Jake Glauser on defense. He was running around, making some big-time tackles, and really just energizing that defense. But we're talking about, now we'll go back to the offense, talk about those two big yard getters, and Hugh Meyer, 3-touchdown game, a kid that averages over 157 yards per game. He is going to probably even better that average at the end of the night. Had 2 50-plus yard touchdowns as well as a 15-yard touchdown, some other big runs throughout the night. But now we head on over to tonight's Sports Clips MVP of the contest. Sports Clips brings you the MVP of this matchup. Sports Clips, home of the MVP experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like an MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sports Clips. Tonight's Sports Clips game MVP is the junior quarterback, Brody Kuntz. Sports Clips will keep you looking at your best. Check in online with a hairstylist today at sportsclips.com. Brody Kuntz has just had a phenomenal day. We talked about it early in this game, especially in that first half, when this game was so tight, 7-6 at the half. But we talked about it, I believe, when it was still 0-0, and Southern Mclean's defense was stopping Hugh Meyer. We said, who is going to be that next player to step up, to make kind of a dynamic duo with Meyer? And it was Brody Kuntz tonight. 2 50-plus yard rushing touchdowns. He entered the day with 73 rushing yards. Well, he had over 100 in tonight's game alone and 2 scores. And for if he didn't step up, we don't know what would happen in this game because, again, that Southern Mclean defense was ready for Hugh Meyer. But once Kuntz started breaking out, then it also allowed Meyer to have some big breakout runs as well and led to an overall team success, 34-12. But some great individual play, but some great team play on both sides tonight. For Southern Mclean, you fell tonight, but I will tell you, you're in the playoffs. Bowman County defeats Beulah tonight 30-18, making that win against the Bulldogs early on in the season for the Rough Riders that much more important. I believe the Rough Riders were up 21-0 over Bowman County in that game. It ended, I think, 28-24. So just a big first half for the Rough Riders early on in the season. Played the difference of them eventually getting into the playoffs. But that is going to mark them in for a playoff bout for the second straight year and the third time since 2011 the Rough Riders are going playoff football. They're since the co-op between Washburn, Wilton, and Wing. So there you have it. There is your standings. So Southern Mclean will stay in the top 4, and those top 4 will be the teams. Region 4 will be representing in the state tournament. Shiloh Christian also defeated Hart River tonight, 27-6 right now. I think there's still maybe a couple minutes left, but in process of finishing that one out. Killdeer will take on Central Mclean tomorrow. If Killdeer wins, they will win the region outright. If Central Mclean wins that game, then we get into a tie-breaking situation. And Trinity's already played both of them. They have a positive +5 in points margin in those 2 games combined. Killdeer right now +4, so would make Trinity for sure above them if a 3-way tie would persist. Central Mclean down by 9 points, making if the Cougars win by 15+ tomorrow, they will be the 1 seed. If the Central Mclean wins 15 or 14 or less points, Trinity will be the 1 seed. If Killdeer just wins outright, they will be the 1. So all 3 of the top teams have a chance to be the 1 seed. We'll see how that all shakes out. And again, tomorrow night, you can catch that game right here on the PSP Network. Todd Domries will have the call out there in Central Mclean territory. Well, we'll take a look at Region 3. That's all kind of set just based off of games tomorrow, though. Valva Drake, Animu, Scarson will be the 1. So Southern Mclean knows their opponent. They will play Valva for a second straight year in the playoffs. Aggies won that game 71-0, but 2 teams that look completely different from last year's bout. Botno right now at the 2. They would need a win to kind of secure that spot. DLB and Ray Powers Lake, the 3 and the 4. So Dickinson Trinity either going to be playing Botno, DLB, or Ray Powers Lake, again, depending on how that seeding works out and how the seeding in Region 4 works out as well. Well, we're taking a look at what's coming up on the PSP Network tomorrow. Friday night football, closing out our sports broadcasting schedule this week. Killdeer versus Central Mclean. So if you're a Dickinson Trinity fan wanting to see how playoff seeding is going to end in Region 4, you can catch that one. Todd Domry's on the call. And then Towner Granville Upham versus Mulhall Lansford Sherwood, an alphabet soup type game of those two programs as well. So lots of great coverage still coming your way tomorrow, but that is going to close it out tonight. Dickinson Trinity victorious at home, 34-12 over Southern Mclean, but Southern Mclean, again, going to play playoff football coming up next week. Both teams going to be in the field of 16. Big thanks out to our camera crew, Zach Sprague, as well as Austin Rotz for a great job as always. And for myself, Brock Widener, have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy some more PSP Network Friday Night Football coming your way tomorrow night.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network,